life. Someone that's afraid to let go. You decide if you ever.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Today we're going to be looking at my top 3 prospects for the 2020 NBA draft. So right now, the 3 teams with the greatest odds to get the first pick is the Warriors, the Cavs, and the T-Wolves. And then right after that, we have the Hawks. So I'm going to be trying to pair up some of these players with those 4 teams. Before we get into my top 3, I just want to give a few honorable mentions of guys that have been getting a lot of attention recently. First up, we got Onyeka Okongwu. He's an athletic, undersized center that could protect the rim, really bouncy. I think he'd be good on the T-Wolves because they definitely need help with some defense. Next up, we have Denny Advia. He's a 6'8" small forward who's quick, can stretch the floor, and is a great passer. Honestly, he'd be good on any team. I feel like he would fit in any system. Next up, we got Killian Hayes. He's a strong 6'5" guard who has an NBA-ready body and really good playmaking ability. After that, we got Obi Toppin. He's a versatile offensive player, but I think his lack of defense will hold him back because he won't be able to switch on guards that well. After that, we got RJ Hampton. He's a great all-around scorer, and I think he'll be pretty good in the NBA right away. Next up, we got Cole Anthony. He was in a tough position at UNC, but I do think he'll be able to be an effective shot creator in the NBA. It might just take some time. Okay, now on to the top 3. Starting at number 3, we have Anthony Edwards. He was a guard for Georgia this year who didn't have the best team success, but it wasn't fully his fault. He's 6'5" with a 6'11" wingspan. At Georgia, he averaged 19 points, 3 assists, about 5 rebounds. He shot 40% from the field and about 30% from 3. So obviously his field goal percentage isn't that great, but he definitely can explode at times and score in large bursts. He has a quick first step, which opens up step backs, but he seems to take difficult shots too often. A good comparison for him would be Donovan Mitchell, but so far he hasn't shown the same defensive ability that Mitchell has. The reason being, sometimes Donovan takes tough shots, but the reason is he can make them, and I think the same goes with Anthony Edwards. So if he could just clean up his shot selection, I think he'll be a really good player in the NBA. So I think he'd be a good choice for the Warriors because they need more guard depth. I don't think the Timberwolves would want him because they definitely need help on the defensive end more, and the Hawks and Cavs already have some young guards that they've been building around. I have him number 3 behind James Wiseman and Lamelo Ball because I feel like Lamelo has better potential than him because of his size. Alright, next up at number 2, we got James Wiseman. He's a quick 7-foot center that only played 3 games at Memphis. He was considered ineligible and ended up quitting the team. He did end up playing in the McDonald's All-American game, but people haven't seen him play in a while. However, he's a super athletic dude. He's a lob threat. He shows signs of stretching the floor. He can already hit post fades and mid-range shots. He also has a 7'5" wingspan and is very athletic, so the defensive abilities are there. He draws comparisons to Miles Turner on the defensive end, which is definitely someone you should want to be compared to. Sometimes he's out of position on defense, but he's still young and has the physical tools to be one of the best defensive big men in the league. I think he'd be a good choice for the Cavs because Andre Drummond is not really an impactful player besides his rebounding, and they can really build around Sexton, Garland, and Wiseman. 3 young guys that could run the floor and hopefully bring some success back to Cleveland. Also, the Warriors would be a good choice for him because they like to move the ball quickly and run in transition, which is where Wiseman would really excel. Draymond sometimes runs a small ball 5, but I think a versatile 7-footer at the 5, Draymond at the 4, and Steph, Clay, and Wiggins to fill out the starting 5 would be deadly. I have him second because in today's game has been proven time and time again that guard-like players run the league. For example, Ayton and Bagley were taken before Luka, who was basically a 6'7" guard, and we've seen what Luka has been doing already in his second year. Okay, on to number 1, we got Lamelo Ball. You know, this guy, him and his family have been in the spotlight since he was a freshman playing for the Chino Hills high school team with his brothers and Onyeka Okongwu. He's a 6'7" guard that has great passing vision and can make every pass possible, similar to his older brother Lonzo. So far, he's played in a lot of different places, but recently he was in the NBL Australia League, where he put up averages of 17 points per game, almost 7 assists, and 7.5 boards, and he also got 1.5 steals per game. His shooting splits weren't that great. He only shot 37-38% from the field, 25 from 3, and under 50 50 from the line. So the clear issue with him is shooting. Throughout his career, whether it be in the Australia League or at Chino Hills or wherever he's playing, he's always had the confidence to take these shots, but they don't always go in. I think, like Anthony Edwards, the clear issue with him is his shot selection. He definitely has the talent to create and make shots, but he needs to be more decisive on what shots he's taking. I do think one of his strengths is finishing at the rim. He pulls out floaters similar to Steph. Although he's not as consistent as Steph, it still works, and he's not the most athletic guy like a Ja Morant, but he definitely does a good job slithering by defenders and finishing at the rim with his 6'7" frame. He's a big guard, so that should definitely give him an advantage on the defensive end. Although he has been known to be lazy on defense, he's very active in passing lanes and can play good defense when he's locked in. When his brother Lonzo was being scouted for the draft, there was not much talk about his defense. However, now he's one of the best defensive guards in the league. At Chino Hills, one of the reasons why they were so good was because of the relentless effort on defense, which allowed them to get out and transition quickly. I think Lamelo will be able to bring this playstyle to whatever team that drafts him, similar to what Lonzo's doing right now. So I have him first overall because I think his potential to be a great playmaker, shot creator, and defender is more valuable than Anthony Edwards' pure scoring and James Wiseman's athleticism. I think he would be a great pick for any team because he'll be easy to plug in. My choice would be the Hawks because they already have their all-star point guard in Trae Young, who stretches the floor and makes plays for his teammates, but he definitely needs some help on both ends of the floor, and LaMelo's ability to find the open man and drive to the basket will work well with Trae's game. Also, Trae is small, even for a point guard, so having LaMelo as the 2 guard would help hide Trae's lack of defense. Obviously, there's more guys that can be mentioned in this video, but these were just a few of the guys that I want to focus on. If you made it this far into the video, I just want to say thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you enjoy talking about the NBA, leave a comment down below, like the video, and subscribe. Check me out on Twitter, talk about the NBA all the time over there. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.